Good evening and welcome back to another By Any Greens Necessary show. I'm your host, Melvin Thompson, the Executive Director of the Endeleo Institute. We are the nonprofit arm of Trinity United Church of Christ, located at 400 West 95th Street. Our farmers market is every Saturday morning. We've been there since July 8th, and we will be there till September 30th, every Saturday morning at the corner of 95th and Normal from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I can tell you that the farmers told me to pass this along, that you got to get there early because they're selling out. They're selling out really, really early. And so you need to be there kind of like when they get there, 8 to 10-ish, because after that, you know, you're taking a chance. Particularly, I missed out on tomatoes last week. So
I did as well.
Did
yes.
you? Okay, so we gotta tighten that up. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day. I always recap the past week before we get to our wonderful guests. But the weather, I just thank God for this wonderful, wonderful weather that we're getting. Even with the rain, it opens up, and no one goes anywhere. They stick with it, and it's a rain or shine market. But it doesn't mean that folks have to stick around, and we're just happy that they do. One of the amazing nuances of our farmers market that we actually kind of started last year, but we're really doing more consistently this year, is that we are conducting these cooking demonstrations on site during the farmers market, because a lot of times we thank the folks that come in and buy, the pole beans and the different things that come out of the ground, but oftentimes, myself included, we don't know necessarily how to prepare these things, the squash and all the radishes and all the things that are sold by the black farmers at Pembroke, Illinois. And so last year we started just kind of just testing what a cooking demonstration would look like, and it was fantastic. We had folks gathered around, and so this young lady to my right is a culinary expert. I'm telling you, you didn't bring nothing with you, did you?
Unfortunately, no. Next time.
All right. Okay.
Promise.
Well, this is Chef Maria, and she has been at our market. Is it the last 2 or 3 times?
Twice.
Okay.
Twice.
Okay, so out of the last 3 times, she's been at our market doing these wonderful, wonderful cooking demonstrations. And let me show you, first and foremost, I didn't show you this last week, and this is our thing we always have to show about Trinity's Farmers Market. Is the Eat Fresh, Buy Local, Buy Any Greens Necessary at 95th and Normal from July 8th through September 30th. You can hear us. I think Pastor Moss does a radio spot on WVON now, so we're really excited about that. And so, yeah, please come on out. But getting back to this young lady to my right, she has taken the cooking demonstration to a completely new level. Whenever you see her on site, you know that she's going to draw a crowd. And just welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. And I got to tell you,
here,
yeah,
yes.
I got to tell you that I think she agreed to do this in the last 36 hours, and it's become a pattern. And I'm shamefully admitting that I'm getting these guests, and maybe we should call this the last minute show, because folks are coming and just kind of off the cuff, and it's probably something to that, because it's fresh. You don't know, really what you're getting into, but when you get here, you do a wonderful job, and you'll do one as well. So just welcome, Maria, and tell us a little bit, what's the name of your business, and how did all this get started?
Well, right now I have a personal chef service, myself, as well as I have a partner as well, Chef Michelle Bernard.
Okay.
And we do on-site caterings. We do a lot of meal prep, and cooking food for busy families and things like that. So we do pretty much right now, it's kind of whatever comes our way, and again, right now we do a lot of on-site stuff where we go there and cook until we become full-fledged and have a commercial kitchen and things like that.
Sure.
Then we can expand a lot more.
Wow, so that's kind of like this is the genesis that you just explained, but the future is perhaps a commercial kitchen where, more than yourself and, maybe other cooks will come in and do that.
Yes.
That's amazing. And you just said something very interesting about the hustle and bustle of our lives today. So do you find that people are receptive to having a personal chef come in and prepare meals?
Absolutely. It's actually the new thing now. One of the trends that you'll see in food service is a lot of people like the idea of having a chef. Like the idea of having someone come in and, feel good and feel kind of professional, having a chef come in and whip up your meals for you. So I like doing that, and I like talking with my clients and finding out what they like, what they don't like, and kind of introducing new ingredients, slowly, just so they can kind of see what it tastes like and things like that, and then kind of eventually open up doors to have them trying things that they would have never tried maybe at the beginning of the service.
So and that's amazing. So how would someone come to know of your services? Is this word of mouth? I mean, you're probably doing social media, but is this just a word of mouth?
Well, yeah. Right now, all of the work that I have been doing since I've started back again with meal prep and everything has been through word of mouth. I've been helping a couple of different chefs. I was working Chef Sam. Hey, Sam. Helping him out with a lot of different events, and I was actually helping him out with an event. And I met another gentleman, Chef George. Hey. And then speaking with him, and I found out about Trinity, that he worked with Trinity. And
that's our guy, George?
Yeah,
Deacon
George Allo.
Oh, George Allo. What up, George?
He told me to tell you thank you, by the way.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my man. That's my man.
So he told me that he had an event coming up with Trinity where they were doing a special fancy dinner for some guests, and it was called Party with a Purpose. And he's like, hey, I need some help. If you can help, come help me out. And again, it was my first time meeting him, and I didn't know really what to expect. But I went out, and it was amazing. It was so much fun preparing fine dining for people who normally wouldn't be able to afford something like that. So Absolutely. It was really great to be a part of.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, just a shameless plug, that is actually how Reverend Dr. Otis Moss III celebrates his anniversary every year.
Yeah, they were telling me, yes.
Yeah, instead of, some lavish thing for himself, what he does is gives back to the community and has the church. We give haircuts. We do all these things. I mean, people get 5-star treatment, and you were part of that. And I know,
amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, we danced. It's just an amazing time, and we did have the food trucks out, and so I am really thankful for George for bringing you into the fold, and now you're part of Trinity's market, and that's just amazing. That's just amazing to hear, and it actually levels the playing field, because you would think that when you hear personal chef, you gotta be rolling in the dough to do something like that, to even think about that. But to be honest, what you do is very healthy. So this is actually a new way of entering, a healthy lifestyle into someone's home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because a lot of times, we want to eat healthy, but just being honest, we don't know how.
And we don't know where to begin.
Exactly. Don't know where to begin. Don't know how to prepare these ingredients. So that's what I do. I love to educate, my clients, as well as, prepare the meals for them. I like to have them there so that they can kind of see what I'm doing. And just in the event that maybe I can't come in, or maybe they want to try something on their own, they can. They kind of have some basic skills on how to mix and match, certain things together. And that way, they can kind of learn how to kind of do it themselves.
So everything that you do, you don't bring anything that's already prepared. You actually...
Everything from scratch. I bring all the ingredients to their homes. I already have a menu plan that I've already gone over with them and made sure it was okay. And then we take that and execute. I do all the prep and all the cooking there, and then I'll put it in the containers and have them fridge it, however they want to do it for later. And it really helps, because a lot of people are very busy. A lot of people have families, and some people just are tired of cooking the same things, all the time, which is kind of what we know. So yeah, I like coming in that way and introducing things, and it's fun. It's fun getting them involved. It's fun getting the families involved, and it's fun hearing the dishes that they make. They'll call me and say, "Hey, Maria, I made this. You know, I didn't do exactly what you did, but I did this.
I did a variation of what you do,
but it was still good. So I'm excited that I'm able to give back. That's my whole agenda really, is to give back and to educate others on how to be able to provide for themselves and how to be able to sustain with cooking and everything, and just how to do it yourself.
You mentioned something too about I could see someone saying, okay, after we've sat down and eaten, we'd like to eat this later. So you did mention something about preserving. So is there a method that you also tell, okay, and this is how you best keep this? Because a lot of times we'll hear that too. Why I bought all of these greens, or I bought all of this, and I don't know. I mean, it went bad, and so I don't want to buy as much because it doesn't last that long. So is there a preservation, preservative kind of?
Well, one of the things that I've learned is actually starting from when you get your food. When you go to, which is why I love farmers markets so much, because you can't get any more fresh than the farmers markets unless you go to the farm and pick it yourself. But that's essentially what's happening. You're getting everything that's very fresh, all natural, and those products, they last very, very long. They last a lot longer than the products that you get in the stores, because again, everything in the store has to be picked the majority of the time. It has to be picked, and then it has to survive the travel to somewhere else, and then to the store. So you lose a lot of time that way. So when you get from the farmers markets, it's the most fresh. It's very tasty. You kind of get a sense of exactly what it should taste like at the peak freshness.
Absolutely.
So with getting that, also I tell my clients, some of them want to just put in containers, to reheat, but there's also vacuum sealing as well. That's one of the ways that where you can preserve your items, and I preserve the meals a lot longer. Vacuum sealing it, reducing taking away all the oxygen, and it gets, you're able to keep, as opposed to a couple of days, you're able to keep your food for months.
And what does that entail? The vacuum sealing, is it something that's special?
It's like a little machine. I have a little machine, and has little vacuum seal bags with it. You can find them. You can go online and find them. That's where I found mine.
Okay.
But it's just a machine. You take the food that you finish and put it in the container, put it in the bag, suck all the air out of it, and boom, there you go. It seals it for you and does everything by itself.
That's amazing.
And again, it really preserves things for months at a time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I got a couple of photos that. Before I get into that, the next time you come to the market, you're gonna see this over the market. Isn't that cool, Maria? Isn't that just totally cool? So the billboard, we do this every season just to kind of christen the space that we're in. So we got the billboard up on Monday, so we're really proud of that. And the parking lot gets full really quick, and we decorated really nice. So we're really proud of that. Let me say something about the what you do at the market, which is amazing, and I gotta show folks what you actually do here. This is you standing around. We had some students last Saturday, and you were talking about now. What did you prepare on Saturday?
This I made pasta. And actually, I believe one of the students who was there called it linguine.
Yeah, that's right. The guy in the back.
Yes, the guy right in the back.
Yeah. He made his own name.
Yes, we had kind of like a naming, challenge, because I had no idea what I was going to call it. Because again, I don't know what I'm going to make until I get there. I have an idea.
Okay.
And again, like Saturday, I had an idea to do something with the tomatoes, but by the time I got there, they were gone already. So one of the great perks of being a chef is being able to think on the fly.
That's right.
I had par-cooked some pasta and brought it down and walked around the market to see kind of what I wanted to make. So I ended up getting some zucchini, and I got yellow squash. And then one of the gentlemen who was here last week on the show.
Right, Donnie.
Yes, he had this lovely radish relish. And it was lovely red color. It was so good. Yes, I still have some at home. And I like colors. I love colors as well. So I had the green zucchini, I had the yellow squash, and then the red from the relish, and just kind of whipped it up together with some chicken stock that I had made and
It was amazing.
butter, and
it
there
was
you
amazing.
go.
It was
Thank you.
amazing. And let me tell you, my producer and my / assistant made that and stole your recipe and went home and made it and put it together. Not only of what you did this past week, but the prior week.
Oh,
What did you
yes.
make the prior
The
week?
prior week, I also use zucchini because it's the zucchini is really good there, and they're huge. I've never seen zucchini so big. But
Yeah.
I made a zucchini. I had some fresh corn, and I use sesame oil to kind of give it a different flair to it, kind of a more nutty flavor. And that was it. You see me here. One of the other things, again, like I said about being a chef and thinking on the fly. You notice here that's not a cutting board that I'm using because I had left my cutting board.
Yeah.
So what I did instead was I took the case from my little burner and
Yeah.
I sanitized it, and cleaned it real good.
Absolutely.
And I used that. But hey, it worked.
Let me tell you
So
something.
it got the job
That
done.
is how we do in our community. That's in our history.
Yeah.
We make do.
Oh, you've got to be able to work with what you have.
Absolutely. This is a live call-in show. If you have any questions for our wonderful guest or any questions in general, you can call us at 312-738-1060. That's 312-738-1060. This is the By Any Greens Necessary show. And let me ask you, so how did this all start for you?
Well, I started. I actually got fired from the job that I was at. I was unhappy anyway, so I kind of thought of it as a good thing.
Yeah,
So I left there.
wonderful.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
fired.
I left there, and thank God I was able to go to Le Cordon Bleu. I've always loved cooking, but never really thought of it as a business. And then a few years before, my sister had went to Le Cordon Bleu, and she was doing caterings and things like that.
And where is Le Cordon Bleu?
Le Cordon Bleu is actually on, as of the end of this month, the Le Cordon Bleu, all Le Cordon Bleus in the U.S. will be closing, and the only Le Cordon Bleu will be over in Paris.
Wow.
So, but that's okay.
There was a more localized. Where did you have to travel?
No, it was actually right off, I think, Ohio Street, and I can't remember, Chestnut.
Okay, so we have a Chicago location. Okay.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. So I went there and I loved it. I was introduced to foods that I had never tasted before, definitely things that were not found in my community. But it just really opened doors to different flavors and different tastes and just sights and smells. And I love food. I don't know if you can tell, but I really, really enjoyed freshness and fresh food and flavors. And so after I did that, I did my internship at Maggiano's, Little Italy. I loved it. And my Maggiano's family, I miss them dearly. Hi.
Wow.
But that's how I got my start. So I worked through a chef training program and moved up really fast. But the further up I went, I noticed that it was really, the less flexible my schedule became. And I wanted to spend a lot of time with my family and spend more time doing other things, doing more mommy things and wifey things. So along with doing that, as much as I loved it, I realized that the future for me was not a chef in the restaurant industry. And by me going to Le Cordon Bleu and doing a lot of research, I learned a lot of different things that I was able to do is in the food service industry outside of just being a chef. So when I left there, I told my husband, I said, hey, I really want to take a different direction. And at the time I had my one daughter.
Okay.
And I said, well, I know if I start this, it's going to go fast. So if we're going to have this other baby, let's do it now.
Let's get that.
So we,
Okay.
we went, and I just had my son 4 months ago. And
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah.
And that's it. I've been just kind of going from there. And again, working with different people, different chefs, picking up different jobs. And then that's what kind of led me to doing the farmers market. George had asked me to sit in on a meeting just to kind of see what was going on.
Sure.
And we had talked about doing the demos. I said, well, sure, I'll do it. I love farmers markets anyway. And so I came, and it's good to get those ingredients and prepare those ingredients so people know what the food tastes like. In addition to not knowing how to prepare it, a lot of these things, that people have never seen or don't know what it is. You don't know how to prepare it, don't know what it tastes like.
Sure.
So that's what I kind of do. Take the ingredients so people can taste them, taste how fresh it is. Instead of me just saying, you kind of get to see it on your own.
And this is really groundbreaking, and actually it sounds like a new path that we're taking with healthy food. And we talked about in the green room that we don't necessarily, no one's saying you should stop eating what you're eating and just start eating healthy.
Absolutely not, because I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But to add to and supplement what you're eating is such a wonderful thing. And what you're introducing is not only does it taste good, but it's good for you. And so it's just wonderful. And it's always an interesting path that the guests that we have here take, and there's no exception here, that you are where you are. And it's just interesting that it's never a straight line, right? It's always it's always just you kind of go where your intuition takes you. And now you're embarking on something completely new. Now, are you seeing other people of color, African Americans, that are trailblazing? I know George and other people.
Sam, and there are other chefs that definitely beginning to come into the field and doing a lot of things like that, and kind of doing the paths, and we all help each other. We all do different things, which is great.
Awesome.
I love
awesome.
I love that I'm able to do so many different things, and I can work when I want. I can stay home when I want. I can pick up whatever jobs I want. So it's definitely giving me more flexibility. Thank God I have a lovely husband at home who is very supportive of me, and because without that, would make this so much harder
and stressful.
Exactly. Because again, everyone has a plan. Like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. So things have definitely been coming at me here and there. But again, having him there supporting me, my family, it's just been phenomenal.
And the teaching moment for this, and this is why we really hope that we get young people like yourself coming in and showing these new paths, is because at Endeleo we do education, we do college and career readiness, and one of the things we always tell them is that try to find out what you would do for free. What is it that you would just do and you didn't need any money for it? If you just woke up every day and you just loved it, and then chances are, if you can tap into that and find it, there's a way you can make money from it. And it sounds like we're always preaching college, but whatever you do, it may not be college per se, and I've said this many times, that there's always some kind of training involved, and it sounds like you've had your share of. Because no matter what it is, whatever your natural gift is, there is some training that comes behind it, and that's the lesson.
It's very important to educate yourself. Whatever it is that you want to do or think you want to do, always research about it, work in the field a little bit, because again, that's how I knew what I did and didn't want to do. So until you educate yourself, find out everything that you can about it, truly then will you know whether or not it's something that you really want to do, or whether it's just maybe a hobby or something you kind of fly by.
Yeah. And in this 21st century, what we're doing, there's a lot more experimentation. There's we're changing jobs, and we're exploring, and it's a wonderful thing, because it's discovery. No one's working 40 and 50 years at the same place anymore.
Oh gosh, no, I couldn't imagine.
And I never did it, and I'm just happy to be doing what I love right now, and that's leading a nonprofit. And I get to meet people like yourself that are helping our community help ourselves and
that's the key
and
right
be
there.
healthy.
Help you help yourself.
You help yourself, and it's wonderful. So in this last minute we've got how does a person get in touch with Chef Maria? What's the best way? Is it a phone number? Is it a website? How do we get in touch with you?
The website isn't up yet, but I do answer my phone. If it's after 5 o'clock, I probably want family time, guys. That's what I'm here for. But my number is 708-674-8255. 708-6806. Again, that's 708-674-6806. We are cocineras, which is cute and fancy Spanish for chefs. But again, me and Michelle, we'll be happy to, answer the call and find out again what you're looking for, what you want, and see what we can work out. If it's nothing else but just information or a recipe.
And that's wonderful. And you can always find her at the farmers market as well.
Yes.
Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday.
Next Saturday. And I've got something really good planned for Mr. Barker's Beans. So
Okay,
you guys want to make sure you're there.
So join us next week. See you later.